interrogators or MPs. You know, that keeping the lights on all night last night was really effective. They're really starting to talk now, patting them on the back, really making them feel good. And they said, but we have a better idea. We need some photographs, because we think if we show the prisoners what they'll be facing, if they don't start to talk, they'll really start to talk. So they wanted to stage these photographs. And for the one, one of the contract interrogators said, we really need a female that would be, willing to do some things in these pictures. And Grainer, of course, said, I know the perfect gal. And they sent for Lindy England, and she came over, and she was excited to go over because she wanted any chance to see Grainer. And they gave her the dog leash and put the dog collar on a prisoner and put the dog leash in her hand and said, smile. And if you notice in that picture, as offensive as it is, Lindy England is not smiling in that picture. She looks pretty much offended or disgusted by what she's being told to do. And, I really would like to know from any of those soldiers what in the world they were thinking. What caused them to believe that these people had the authority to give them their orders? And I've never had an opportunity to speak to any one of those soldiers, despite the fact that, there have been so many claims that they worked directly for me and I let this get out of control.
So let me ask you this. When Grainer and Lindy England both went on trial, nobody was interested in your testimony?
Their defense counsels tried to get the judge to allow me to be called as a witness, and the judge said no.
No.
He wouldn't allow them to call me as a witness.
And any contractors ever been called to testify in their trial?
Nope.
Never.
Never. For Grainer's trial, he was only allowed to have his company commander and his first sergeant. I think there was a telephone statement from another officer that was out at Abu Ghraib, but he wasn't allowed to have anybody testify. The judge kept dismissing his defense counsel's requests.
That's what I had heard too. I actually had an argument with somebody who was actually, on my side of the and we put him on the air and we argued it out on the air. And he said, no, I think what they did was disgusting. It was wrong. I said, nobody will look at those pictures and say what they did wasn't disgusting and wrong. But where was the complete and full defense?
Exactly. Where is the complete investigation?
Yes.
They make these claims repeatedly. There's been, even as of 25 August of this year, 25 August of this year, 2 months ago, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Myers, at a Pentagon press conference, somebody asked the question about if the statements from the captain from the 82nd Airborne Division, was that going to lead to an independent investigation this time? And he said, no. Look, we've done more than 11 investigations, but every one of those investigations was done under the control of Rumsfeld.
Right.
And nobody that was appointed as an investigating officer was going to conclude anything contrary to what Rumsfeld wanted. So where is the independence? Even the Taguba investigation, the initial one, imagine now, this is supposed to be an impartial investigation. But in the fall last year, he was out at a California university speaking about, he was supposed to be speaking about leadership, but what he did was get up on a campaign, recruiting campaign platform. So somebody from the media out there interviewed him after his presentation, and he said, well, how did you know General Sanchez? What did you know about him when he gave you your instructions to go out and see what you could find, what was wrong with Janis Karpinski and the 800th MP Brigade? He said, Rick Sanchez and I are good friends. We've been neighbors.
Okay.
So what kind of impartial investigation is this?
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, just one last question before I let you go. I would love to talk to you. I wish we could go have dinner. I'm so serious. I was an enlisted person. To me, you're like, I idolize you, I really. The people in Abu Ghraib, high value, intelligence detainees, or mostly common garden variety, I stole a rug out of a store types.
We had our population at Abu Ghraib initially was only Iraqi criminals, small nonviolent crimes, stealing a rug, stealing gasoline, whatever it was. But we were moving them into other prison facilities as they were restored and were operational. So we could close down Abu Ghraib. But these so-called security detainees that were being brought in waiting for interrogation, the vast majority of them, and I mean 75% or more of them, were completely innocent of anything. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And when I tried to explain this concept to the deputy commander, because the population was getting out of control out at Abu Ghraib with all these security detainees, that they had no further intel value, but nobody wanted to release them. I said to him, you know, we have to have a release policy. And the deputy commander said, I don't care if we're holding 15,000 innocent Iraqis. We're winning the war, Janis. And I said, no, sir, you're not inside that wire, because when they are released, every one of them becomes our enemy because we held them without any reason. But they didn't care. This was, you know, they're combat arms, they're combat unit commanders. That's their mindset. And, you know, build a detention camp for all of Iraq and throw every Iraqi in there, and then we've won the war. Now, you know, that's a real democracy, right?
You are a brave woman. You really are. You're amazing. And, you know, you wanted to do this since you were a little girl. I thank you for your background story. I love reading. I'm going to finish it this weekend. I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down. I got to tell you, I had no idea about George, your husband. What's it like? Does he have to salute you in the morning?
He came to my promotion ceremony when I got promoted to 1-star, and he had a cast on his left hand, or let me see, on his right hand, on his right wrist. Yeah. And everybody was giving me a hard time. They said, hey, ma'am, your husband put a cast on his arm so he didn't have to salute you.
Now, he's a major, right?
No, he's a lieutenant colonel.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, listen, if you're ever in New York or you ever come by, please just give me a call. I would love to sit down and just talk to you forever. I admire you so. You are exactly what I wanted to be.
Well, you're my hero.
You are mine. You are mine. Thank you.
When I get up to New York, and I definitely will call you.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm always going to call you General Karpinski. I don't care what they say. Thanks, General.
Thank you.
Bye. Great woman. 51 after.
This is the Randi Rhodes Show.
Talk to Randi live. 866-303-2270.